Hello, and welcome to Book 5, Chapter 21 of You Should Be Reading. Today, today I'd like to talk about not one, not two, but three books. A little series of books that I don't believe it's finished, but these are the only ones that I've been able to find, and I even checked online, and so far there hasn't been any others. I'm talking about Shadow Blade, Shadow Chase, and Shadowfall, all by Ceresia Glass. They are the Shadowchasers series, urban fantasy, and they deal with the main character, Miss Kira Solomon, who is a member of a secret organization called the Gilead Commission that deal with fighting against the forces of evil. She is a shadow chaser. Uh, she also has a kind of a psychometric ability to be able to touch people and things and gain psychic impressions off these items, but also download the entire life history of any person that she touches with her skin. But when she does that, she also kind of drains the life out of them as well. Uh, Hence why she is very much kind of standoffish, tends to always wear gloves, doesn't like to touch other people, and isn't really very intimate with other people either because kind of got the whole rogue thing going on. Uh, but she is the main character on all of these covers, as you can see. Uh, Definitely some interesting little urban fantasy books. Now, one of the things about these particular ones that I enjoyed was the fact that it's urban fantasy, female protagonist who's definitely holds her own, even though she does have vulnerable moments in this. It's not like she's a complete badass and is coded male, as sometimes is mentioned. But there is also the fact that the other books, there's about, I think, 7 other books that this author has written. And all of her other books, beyond these three, are romance novels. And I didn't know that when I picked these up and started reading them. Um, but when I went to check on them, I found out she's a romance novelist, mostly, and has delved into these ones. And the neat thing is, there's romance in here as well. Definitely, it's urban fantasy slash romance in a way. If any of you have ever read a romance novel, you kind of know how it goes. There's all this, sexual tension going on between the main characters and this, that, and the other thing, and that's in here as well. But she handles it quite well. It's nice. I like it. It's not a super fast moving romance either. It kind of plays out over the course of the 3 books before it kind of solidifies into something. And the ending of the last book, it doesn't. It leads me to believe there will be more. Uh, I remember seeing something online when I was checking up on it about a book called Shadow Hunt, but I've never been able to find it again or anything else about it. So it could just be my imagination playing tricks on me. But these ones all about. The first one starts with uh, Kira Solomon, and she ends up getting brought a dagger by her um, former professor, who, unbeknownst to her, is also her handler in the Gilead Commission. She doesn't think she has one. Uh, she checks the dagger and finds it's legitimate. It's like a 4,000-year-old dagger. Um, and then her handler ends up getting murdered horrifically. That's when she finds out he was actually her handler. And the person who previously owned that dagger, uh, that 4,000-year-old dagger, a 4,000-year-old Nubian warrior, shows up wanting it back. And tagging along with this Nubian warrior is basically Anansi, the spider god from the African religions and mythos. So there's a lot going on there. our hero follows Maat, the Egyptian goddess of truth. And there's lots of Egyptian symbolism and other African symbolism and mythos building and stuff pulled from that history and whatnot in these books. Now, I do believe that the author is not only what's the word I'm looking for here? Not only a person of color, as I've seen mentioned, so she's writing from what she knows, but I believe she also has ties to Egyptian as well. It actually might say in the back here. Ceresia Glass, proud to write fiction that features diverse people realizing the universal dreams of love and acceptance. Lots of things here. So yeah, definitely, she definitely is an author of color. So good on her. That's fantastic. I always love reading new viewpoints in books like these because I know it might be difficult to tell, but I'm about as white as can be. And even though I do a lot of role playing, I usually only role play, as I mentioned in my character class videos, I usually only role play stuff that I know, stuff that I have researched heavily into. So I'm paying respect to what I'm role playing. I'm not simply being offensive and making fun, as some players are wont to do. So for me to be able to read and get a differing viewpoint on religions and races and whatnot, it is fantastic for me. I enjoy it so much. And that's why I really liked these books. I blew through these in about uh, two or 3 weeks, give or take. I think it was about 2 to 3 weeks. I blew through all 3 of these. They're quick reads, absolutely delightful. Lots of little comedic moments here and there made me chuckle. The romance is quite nice, as well as is the action. Kira is one of those characters that is very much tough and no nonsense, but she kind of has a bit of insecurity and isn't sure of herself a lot of the time. So it's nice to see that balance going on. And there's some really interesting world building in terms of light and dark, good and evil, and the different uh, supernatural creatures that kind of fall in between all that. So I like it. I don't know if you guys might like it, but it's the sort of series that is definitely new and different, something I've never read before. So I was glad to get in on this and check it out. So that's going to be it for this episode of You Should Be Reading. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, if you like what I'm doing, please give that like button a tap. Give that subscribe button a tap as well if you haven't already, so you can be kept apprised of when I do new videos. And throw a comment in the comment section. Have you read any of Ceresia Glass? Have you read these books? Any of her other books? Do you know of any other authors or books similar to these that you think I might be interested in? Throw those comments in the comment section. I'd love to get a discussion going with some people. And until next time, you should be reading the Shadowchaser series by Ceresia Glass. And I'll see you next time.